Alright, so let's see if we can get this macro. For Brother in Arms made. So I have it on Bayless, who is my rank 79 warrior. So if you've never made a macro before in Rift, it's pretty easy. If you do a hashtag and then put the word show with it, and then type the name of the ability, it's Brothers in Arms, then it will show the icon of the ability here, and when you mouse over the ability, it will also show the ability's tooltip. And so what I would want to do is say cast Brothers in Arms, and then what I also want to do is say in raid that my target, which is %T, has Brothers in Arms and is taking 15% less damage. We will name that Brothers in Arms. I'll just name it Bro. That way it'll actually be able to show up. Alright. Let's get this bound here. So to do that, we go into our key bindings. So this particular bar here that I'm looking at where I've placed it is action bar 4. And so if I mouse over it, I can see this is bar 4 slot 8. So what I can now do, go to bar 4, button 8, and I think I will macro this as one of my shift plus mouse buttons. Okay. Yes, I'm okay with that, replacing your previous button. And we can actually do the same thing for guard if we would like. So guard is similar to Brothers in Arms. Guard intercepts 25% of the damage, so a lot more than the static 15%. The difference is guard only lasts for roughly 12 seconds, so it's something temporary. So go back into our macro, hashtag show guard, so now our guard tooltip shows up there. Cast guard. And so we also want to say in raid that our target, which is %T, we'll say is being guarded and is taking 25% less damage for 12 seconds. One of the things I'm actually going to go back in here and do with these macros is put this in brackets, or I should say less than greater than signs, and what this will do is %target will then be within these signs when it's presented in raid chat. That way that person's name stands out a little bit more. There's a little bit of emphasis on the target's name rather than just sort of blending in with the rest of the raid chat. Okay. And I'll do the same with this. Alright. So now when I mouse over Brothers in Arms, as you can see, the tooltip pops up there on the screen. We're going to put, let's name this guard. And we'll put this up here by Brothers in Arms. And we'll go back in and we'll get this bound. Okay, and so this is slot 9. So I'm going to also use a shift and additional mouse button here. So I have a gaming mouse, a Logitech gaming mouse, so even though it says home and right arrow on the key bindings, that's sort of how I've got my mouse programmed to be. So those are actually mouse buttons there. Okay. So we can go test this out as a random unsuspecting person. So as you can see, by using the key binding, I was successfully able to cast Brothers in Arms on it. However, I get a message, you are not in a raid, and you'll get that anytime, since we have our message set to go into raid chat, but we're not in a raid currently, we just get this message that says we're not in a raid, but we know that it's actually going to, the message will go into raid if we were in a raid at the time. Alright, so I'm going to right click that off. Come test a random NPC for guarding. Alright, so it looks like guard lasts roughly 15 seconds actually when we test that out. I'll adjust my number there on guard. Okay.